Let's watch this video together.
Who the are you? How the hell you get this house? Who's the lady that lives here? Where's the lady that lives here, bro? That lady don't live there no way, bro. You is a sicko? All right, yeah, crazy. Hell yeah. It's you, bro. Coming in my hood. Why did Puerto Rico, bro? No, shit. Hey, yo. Why did you that lady that used to live here?
Go back to your house. Go back to your house.
Go inside. Go inside.
Right. She been left to Puerto Rico, bro, months ago. Months ago, babo. Months
And
ago.
this house?
Yeah, this is their new house. They've been here for months. En serio, babo. Todo tranquilo. You so tranquilo.
You know what I'm saying? I will go in my house. And this right here. No, that I'm gonna find out real quick. I go chop real quick, puppy. I go chop on real quick.
The fact that this Latino man was upset about black people moving into his neighborhood and then threatens to call Trump on the black family is absolutely infuriating and nuts. It shows the insidiousness of racism that even this disenfranchised Latino, with all that's going on in this world, thinks that he is better than black people.
Sir, put him a full mask. There you have it. Senator, thoughts here.
This is maddening. This is wild. Number one, your point that advising him not to call President Donald J. Trump.
Right.
You know, my grandmother used to say, if you dig a ditch, you better dig two.
There you go.
You call him President Trump, he's going to look at you first.
Yeah.
Second point, you do not have to be white to be anti-black. Let me just say that again.
That's correct.
You do not have to be white to be anti-black. And clearly we see in this example of somebody of Hispanic descent being very anti-black and feeding into the white supremacist mentality of where black people can be and what they can do. Thank God for that bystander who was walking by and checked that man and basically told him, go back home. You are wrong. And my last point, it is always curious how people believe. You see that he did. Who told him that? Who told him, one, to call that black family, use the N-word? So you already know subconsciously that that is a word to dehumanize black people.
Yep.
You think you're better than black people as collectively. I'm not talking about conscious-minded individuals, but people need to deconstruct their construction because you can fall into the same white supremacist mentality of a white supremacist ruling class and somehow think that because you are not black, you are somehow better.
Right.
When you owe a debt of gratitude to black descendants of enslaved people.
All right, guys, so welcome back to the channel. And you know, it is very obvious that some of these Latinos that are making this kind of suggestion that Donald Trump should actually deport black people are actually not their right senses, you see. Because why will you say that to the black people? The black people have actually fought. The black people have actually stood. The black people have actually done a lot of things for the Americans, as you see. So you can't tell Donald Trump or tell him to come and deport the black people. And in fact, the deportation of the black people have actually caused a lot to the white folks, you see. It has caused a lot to the white folks because some of their farmers are even crying. Some of their farmers are becoming poor because they are lazy, they can't work. So now you are coming to come and say this because the black people were actually the one that were doing most of this work. They were the one that was actually helping out in most of these places, you see. So Latinos coming out to come and say this. Meanwhile, even the black people actually voted so that they can help them, so that they can stand with them. You know, the black people have always supported them, but here they are actually insulting the black people and wanting that they are being deported. This is our conversation today, and I'd like us to dive into it. If this is your first time on my channel, just kindly hit the subscribe button, subscribe, like the video, and watch this. I'll be right back with more commentaries.
Oh my goodness. So first things first, let me start off by saying this. I spoke with all black people on the planet, well, specifically in the US, all right, with Council of Negroids, and I'm going to be bold and speak on their behalf and say, we have nothing to do with ICE, okay? We have nothing to do with this whole ICE situation that's going on. We have nothing to do with the deportations, and we don't care. Damn. And I don't mean that in any type of mean or, malicious manner. I'm just saying we don't care. My name's Bennett and I ain't in it. We have nothing to do with this. And I've noticed there are a lot of goofy clowns that are trying to put black people in the fray of this. And no, we have nothing to do with it. Black Americans have nothing to do with what's going on in ICE. We have no dog in this fight. It just is what it is. All right. Y'all get deported. Y'all get deported. I don't know what to tell you, but we are not going to be protesting. We're not going to be looting. We're not going to be rioting. Whatever is happening right now, we have nothing to do with it. Now, what I do find hilarious is that we have the goofies who are trying to say that, oh, they're coming for you next. Oh, you got to be careful because they're coming for y'all next. You have to understand. Now, riddle me this, Batman. In order for you to say that they're coming for us next, that would imply that we haven't been attacked yet. That's what that would imply, okay? That we have gone this entire time without being attacked. And if that's what you believe, perhaps you should sit this one out, boo-boo. Perhaps you should sit your little self on the corner and, I don't know, do whatever you got to do. Sell your fruits, go to school, whatever it is, okay? But this conversation regarding black people, maybe you should definitely sit this one out because you are aggressively ignorant.
Wake up, nigga.
Of the history of this country and even presently today. We were the first ones. We were the guinea pigs for their hatred. I don't know if you happen to know this. So when you try to say that, oh, we're next, pimping, we've been here. we were number one in line when it comes to their hatred and, their vicious tactics and whatnot. Okay, their inhumanity towards people.
To this day.
We were the first ones. And so this whole next part, it didn't stop with us, bro. They just included y'all. That's the only difference. They still are going for us. That has never changed, and that will never change because of the wickedness of some of these people's hearts. It just is what it is. Okay, that's why I say it's a lineage of evil. So when y'all say, oh, they coming for us next, pimping. If they were, right? If they were down or triple down, quadruple down on their hatred, bro, we gonna handle it. Just like our ancestors handle it, just like we handle it, and just like we'll handle it in the future. It just is what it is. So don't try and fear-monger black Americans, talk about, oh, they're gonna deport you next, or they're gonna do this. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. How about that? Okay. In the meantime, between time, essay, I suggest you should be worrying about you. That's what I think. Okay. Nevertheless, having said that, I just wanted to clarify that. Having said that, no ill will. But there is this woman who started a campaign called Latinas for Trump.
Hi, I'm Emiliana Garcia, and I founded Latinas for Trump on the premise of how important it was for me to convey to the rest of the world that there are a lot of Latinos and Latinas supporting Donald J. Trump.
Hispanics practice Jim Crow against black Americans in Houston. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. At Houston Community College, right? The Chandler Caesar, he's a Hispanic man. He got together with the director of HR and the board of trustees. And they came up with this plan to get rid of black employees at high positions. They did anything from putting false complaints in their folders so they could get demoted or get fired. And then they replaced these black employees with Hispanics. Hispanics went up, the hiring for Hispanics went up 50%. These three individuals orchestrated the plan. And this is what they stated in their emails. Now, we Hispanics are going to receive preferential treatment. This plan was successful, targeting black top employees. Now they got a class action suit against Houston Community College for $100 million. They have to come up with some type of settlement by 2026.
Haiti was never welcomed by the other Latino countries because there's anti-blackness in the other Latino countries. Although Haiti is the first Latino country, and although they helped almost every other country gain their independence, or at very least inspired, Latin America has not been welcoming towards Haitians, so much so that so many Haitians would just rather not identify as Latino because of all the anti-blackness, and they just would rather not deal with it. So obviously there is an issue of anti-blackness and Latinidad in the Latino community, and I really do think it starts with addressing Haitians.
This whole Janae and Kenny situation has got me thinking about my experiences with anti-black racist Latinos. And one story, one experience that I'll never forget is when me and my sister was leaving a gas station and a man approached my sister. My sister is a lot lighter than me and she's racially ambiguous. He walked up to her. He was a Latino man, I think maybe Mexican, and he asked her, hey, what's your name? She told him her name. Now, she has an African American name. So he kind of rolled his eyes a little bit. And then he said, what are you? And she's like, what? And he's like, please don't tell me you're black. He literally asked her, what are you? And then proceeded to say, please don't tell me you're black. Our jaws dropped because we were just shocked. And she was like, I am black. Now get the out my face. We were just like appalled because, you know, it was like, what, 2010 when this happened? And we're thinking, like, if somebody has the audacity to come up to you and say that, I don't even know a lot of white people that will come up to you and say that, let alone you think other people of color. But now that I think about it, Latino people are like some of the most racist people on earth. They are so anti-black. They are surpassing white people with their ideologies. And if you just look at how Latin American countries are ran and where black people are on the totem poles in those countries, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Share your experiences in the comment section below.
So today on here, I saw something that really bothered me. A Latino woman basically was asking why the black community isn't there for the Latino community like they were there for us during BLM. Oh boy, y'all might want to buckle up for this one because this is about to be a CM Punk type rant. And in the theme of this Phil Brooks type rant, let me go and say the words that he once said to the universe. Do we have everybody's attention now? Now then, I say that because I find it funny that it takes us stepping back as a community entirely for people to recognize what's going on. Now, notice I said it was funny. I did not say I was shocked. Because this is what always happens. You see, somehow we are always blamed for things, despite the fact that a lot of times it's not our fault. And this one definitely is not our fault. Did you see those voting numbers? We didn't put that piece of shit in office. You did it. But you say you helped us during BLM and that's why we should help you? I don't remember that. Because you see, what I remember is that it took a black man losing his life at a point where the world had no choice but to watch for you to recognize that we go through shit. But you have the gall to sit there and blame us when the only thing that we did was try to prevent this from happening. Hey, I actually have a crazy idea. How about instead of blaming my community, you do what everybody tells us to do and check your own? Because they were the ones with the superiority complexes that made them think that they were better than people that look just like them. And excuse me, but why do we always have to be the ones that have grace for people? Because from where I'm sitting, a lot of people don't show us that same grace when things happen with us. Because the thing is, we read the 900-page document. We researched. We looked into things. I'm not sure we could say the same about you. Now then, I know it's not everybody. So right now, we need as much solidarity as possible. Period. Now then, if you want to sit there and point fingers, cool, whatever. But us, we got a world to save. So what you do from this point is up to you.
Y'all know when Latinos and Hispanics be like, Black Americans are next? They really thought that Black Americans are immigrants. And that explains why they voted the way they voted. They try to get us up out of here. But I gotta say to the Latino community, not only did your ESL classes, but the American educational system failed you tremendously. Because Black Americans are not immigrants and we're not going anywhere. And this is how ill-informed they are. They really think because they're in the middle between black and white that they're white adjacent, when that's far from the truth. It's only 3 categories that's broken down in this country. You have white Americans, you have non-whites, and you have Black Americans. The people in the middle, y'all just extras in this movie. The main characters are the white Americans and the Black Americans, and sometimes the Native Americans make a guest appearance. This country spent too much money, trillions of dollars, in painting black people as the bad guys. That's the default, to even get rid of Black Americans, as sad as that may sound. And you know who's catching on quick, who's learning the game real quick? Africans, and Caribbeans. That's why they're cosplaying as Black Americans. They're not cosplaying as Black Americans to trick us Black Americans. They're doing it to trick white Americans because they don't want to be deported.
Latinos in the United States have not earned the support of black people for us to be demanding, oh yeah, why aren't they coming out to protest with us? Why aren't they engaging in activism with us? Because we haven't earned it at all, in the slightest. Or did you guys forget that 46% of all eligible Latino voters voted for Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential election? Or how about the fact that racism, anti-blackness, colorism, all of these things are still very much pervasive in our communities? Bro, Latinos haven't even reconciled with the fact that they can't use the N-word unless they're also black themselves, because Afro-Latinos exist. Oh, and if we're talking about Miami, oof, you'll see the whitest MAGA Latinos be like, bro, but I grew up in the hood. I grew up around black people in Overtown or in Liberty City. I could say it, bro. No one's gonna stop me from saying it. It's my right. I'm not racist. I have a black friend. We haven't even gotten over that. And we want black people to go to protest with us, to engage in activism with us, putting their lives, their freedom, their bodies on the line? No. I completely understand any black person that wants to just disengage, disregard us. I get it, guys. I really, really do. And we, as Latinos, as a collective, should not be harboring resentment against black people, criticizing them, getting angry at them, questioning them. No. No. Because we've earned this. They are completely justified in feeling the way they feel and doing what they're doing. Now, I would like to give a message to the black folks watching this video. You are completely justified in your feelings and in doing what you're doing, and I respect it. But please remember that black folks are also being affected by this persecution of undocumented migrants. And I feel like that's not talked about enough either. Here, Miami, Florida is the best example. Haitians, Jamaicans, Bahamians, Afro-Cubans, Afro-Hondurans, Garifunas, black people from all over Latin America and all over the world, Africans, just so many black people that are also undocumented that are really being affected by the persecution of this administration. And of course, much like any other entity in space, black folks in immigration detention centers, in the immigration system, are treated worse than their white, Latino, Asian counterparts. So it's really important to acknowledge that and just let you guys know. But yeah, Latinos, we need to tighten up. If you guys want the support of the black community, then earn it. Demonstrate that we can solve these issues of racism in our own communities, and please stop saying the N-word. If you're not black, don't say the N-word. It's really simple, actually.
I don't understand. This is not what we voted for. This is exactly what you voted for. No, how can he do this? I've supported him through thick and thin. We told you. No, he promised to only deport the dangerous Latinos, not the good ones. Oh, you dumb fucking bitch. Why are you being so mean? I'm being mean. We have to fight this together. Oh, now you want to fight together? I didn't think it was going to turn out this way. Haven't you been listening to all his speeches since 2016? No, this is not the Trump I voted for. He's exactly who you voted for. All we want is a better economy. That's all we want. We love this country. Oh God, I can't believe this. My parents were Cuban refugees. And you still voted for him. They came here for a better and safer life. Like every refugee, but that didn't stop you from counting Latinas for Trump, which is like the dumbest thing. It's like cockroaches for raid. You lack empathy, and you are dumb.
They are being starved. They are thirsty, only given 1 cup of water per day. Are denied bathroom privileges. Are denied medical attention. People in ICE concentration camps are losing their lives. And don't even think about saying FAFO, fuck around and find out, to these people in ICE detention centers. It is a shame that members of the black community started the trend, and so many other people followed. This is an updated voting poll. Updated. Brown people voted for Kamala Harris more. But you fall for the colonizers' divisive tactics, the inaccurate voting polls, the initial propaganda. It is immature and immoral to be centering that type of behavior in response to a community that is being mass deported in prison and concentration camps and tossed out of the country to who knows where without any rights or contact to any lawyer or family. When we should be focused on solidarity, and this has to stop immediately, especially those of you who claim to be activists perpetuating this FAFOBS nonsense.
Shouts out to Aaliyah, because this is where it was on her page when I first saw this lady, this Mexican lady. And then I went to her page and she doubled down and literally said that they helped us during the Civil War, which is a lie. And the Mexicans helped free the slaves. First of all, Mexico had slavery themselves that wasn't abolished until 1829 or 30 or something, somewhere around there. And the president that abolished slavery in Mexico was Afro-Indigenous. I don't know why they keep leaving that part out. He looked more like a negro than he looked like. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And when we were down there, we was fighting beside them. We was helping to protect their borders. They conveniently leave that out. All this civil rights, nobody that was not fighting with us for civil rights. Is a lie and a scam, not as a collective. And they know a lot of them are anti-black. It is so crazy that they keep blaming us. First of all, we've been saying fuck around and found out, just like we've been saying a whole bunch of other shit that they co-opt and steal and turn into something else. Fuck around and found out never really had no political meaning. That's just how black people talk. Bitch, fuck around and find out. That's how we talk. Why do they keep blaming us and censoring us when we are not the ones that's putting them in concentration camps? We do not yield, nor do we hold the power to deport them. They are focusing on the wrong people. Why y'all not mad at MAGA? Why y'all not sticking it to the white man? I mean, we just got to call it a spade a spade. It's so weird that the Mexican and the Latino community keeps coming for black people. It's because we're not putting our bodies, we're not sacrificing our bodies and going and running out and standing on the front lines. Is that what it is? Why they got so much animosity toward us like we're the ones that's doing this to them? We're not inflicting any pain on you. And as per Aaliyah's video, because I never saw that initial video, she played a video of a bald head clear guy coining fuck around and find out for political purposes. Once again, stealing our shit, renaming, reclassifying it, giving it a different meaning. We're not making fun of y'all like that. We really ain't. We don't give a... It's unfortunate, but stop blaming. You're pointing,
Oh, you can't just blame Latino voters. Like, yes, the fuck I can. And I say that with my immigrant-ass passport, okay? Yes, you can blame the campaign. Yes, you can blame the party. But at the end of the day, there's this little thing called personal accountability. In 2016, I was a little bit more lenient because, okay, people just don't know. They don't understand the consequences. But we lived through that presidency. What I'm hearing now, even from immigrants, undocumented immigrants, because yes, if you have TPS, if you have DACA, you're still undocumented under federal law. Oh, it wasn't that bad under Trump. Oh, Trump's not gonna do anything. Oh, he didn't do anything last time. Oh, yes, he didn't. He tried. The only thing that stopped him was a full resistance movement that filed lawsuits for every single one of his executive orders. What really gets me is that a lot of people who have undocumented family or themselves are undocumented will ultimately need the help of other people who told y'all, don't let this man back in office. Relying on people like myself who have been doing immigration advocacy for years, it generally makes me not want to do this shit anymore. Like next year, a lot of us are going to be helping people that couldn't even help themselves by voting for their best interest. You know where gas really going to be cheap? In fucking Mexico. Yeah, it is.
Let me make something very clear. I never said that I don't stand with Latino people and immigrants. What I said was 50% of Latinos voted for Trump. That means that half of your community voted against your interest, your own best interest. So when I see videos of the greater Latin community condemning and shaming the black community for not wanting to be on the front lines of this movement, it's crazy to me. You want us to put our bodies on the line, knowing that the government has no problem committing violence against black people. To be publicly condemning and shaming black people when you have not addressed your community yet is crazy. Your first thought should be to try to convince the 50% of your community that voted against your own best interest, not to convince black people. You have so much intra-community work to do first before you should ever even think to open your mouth to speak against black people. Y'all's response is always, oh, well, y'all have so much experience with this. Like, you should be willing to help. You've done this before. I don't see how that matters. I don't see how that's relevant. When I get on this app, I'm always talking to my community first and foremost. I would never get on here and try to shame Asians or shame Latinos or shame white people. I will educate them, but never will I try to force them onto my side by using fear tactics by saying, well, you gonna be next. That's crazy to me. It's actually ludicrous. Your own community voted for this. 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. 53% of black people in general voted for Harris. 50% of your population voted against your own best interests. That is a community first issue. That means that y'all did no inter-community work before looking to black people for help. You've done nothing with inside your own community before looking to black people for help. You should not expect black people to pick up the slack of your community. How do you think that's right? How do you think that's fair? It's not. Black people are always looking to our own community first. We're always getting our own people together first. And that's what y'all need to do too. I never said I would not stand with the Latinos. I do stand with Latinos. I stand with immigrants in general, period. I don't care. I'm always going to side-eye Latinos for trying to get on here and morally condemn black people who aren't helping. It's hypocritical because you didn't even get on here and address your own community first. Don't look me in my eye and try to make me feel bad when your uncle voted for Trump, when your brother voted for Trump, when your sister voted for Trump. That's crazy to me. You have so much intra-community work to do before you look to black people. I get it. Black people have a revolutionary spirit that other communities do not have, right? A lot of y'all are docile, right? Because your community lacks the fervor and the spirit to fight for their own cause, does that mean that we should do it? No, it does not. If you are not willing, if your community is not willing to put their own bodies, their own lives on the line to fight for their rights to be here, why should we? And that is my point, right? I'm not saying I don't stand with you. If you're not willing to put your own body, your own life on the line, do not look to black people to do it for you. We are not disposable warriors to fight every and anybody's war. That's wrong. That's wrong for y'all to think that. This is why black people keep saying, you do it first, right? You get out there and you really go to fucking war with these white folks, these MAGAs, these racists, and we will follow suit, right? When we see it really looking the way it's supposed to look, the way a revolution is supposed to look, the way our revolutions have looked in the past, then we will follow suit, right? Because then it'll benefit us all. But it does not benefit us to be the first on the lines. You need to be the first on the line. It's your cause. We not hired hands, and y'all ain't paying. We not a militia, and y'all ain't got no money. You ain't funding us. So like I said, I do stand with Latinos. I do stand with immigrants. But my blood will not spill when you don't want to spill your own.
Hello, 92%. So, I am seeing many videos from the Fuck Around and Find Out Latinos for Trump who are now terrified about all of the ICE raids and the mass deportations that is happening in their communities. And I see a lot of us, the 92%, who are stitching their videos and essentially reading them the riot act, saying black people tried to tell you, you voted against your own interests, all of that kind of stuff. And I love watching those videos. I, however, won't personally do it because I don't want to drive more engagement to their page when someone clicks on the link to who they are so they can stitch it as well. But I applaud you guys. Keep making them. I love it. But my main thing that I am making this video is I want all of you, the 92%, to hear, because I want you to acknowledge this part when you do stitch their videos, when you do go to read them the riot act, or actually anybody who is basically a Kamala voter, a non-Trump voter, a person who says, hey, who voted for Kamala, who tried to prevent this from happening. Here's the one thing, but especially for the 92%. I want you all to hear what a lot of these Latinos for Trump are not saying. I want you to hear what they won't say. What is that? They are saying everything from, my parents immigrated here for a better life, and I'm a first generation, and I was born here, and now I'm a because my parents came here legally. Now they're saying they might deport me. I've paid for immigration lawyers. I've done this. I've done that. They are saying everything about how it's just horrible how Trump is doing them when they voted for him, and they thought they were only going to get rid of the bad ones or the criminals and not people like me. That okay? I want you to hear everything they are not saying. And what is that? What are they not saying? Because we're going to come on here and tell you, black people tried to tell you. Black people been living this. Black people been trying to tell you all the time. We voted to try to help you. We voted to make sure this wouldn't happen. But I want you all to hear what they are not saying. The one thing you will never hear fall out of their fucking lips. We should have listened to black people. We should have listened to black people. Black people were right. Black people knew this was going to happen and we didn't listen. They will not say, why are we so aligned with an oppressor that we refuse to listen to the people who tried to help us? Why did we not listen to black people? They won't even acknowledge black people in any of their content. They won't even acknowledge the votes we cast to make sure this would not happen to them. None of them will ever say, I should have listened to black people. Black people were telling us that he was going to betray us. Black people were telling us that he hates black and brown people, but I thought I was better than them because I believed in all of the white supremacist rhetoric my whole life because I'm a racist. They will never say that. They will never say that. Or they will never say, you know what? I just thought, I bought into everything and black people told me the opposite, and I just didn't want to believe what was coming out of their black ass mouths. And it turns out they were right. They will never acknowledge us. No matter how many times we post videos to say, black people tried to tell you, black people tried to warn you, black people voted to make sure this didn't happen. They won't mention that at all. Listen to all of those videos out there. Listen to all of them. I have not come across one, not one, who will say, black people were right all along. Because that right there feeds their anti-blackness. If they acknowledge the deep-seated anti-blackness, that means they acknowledge that they're getting what exactly they deserve. Because in the end, that means they're racist. So why should we feel sorry for them? Why should we? When they voted for this, they won't even acknowledge that we were even right. That's how much they despise us. So, 92%. Listen to what they're not saying when they post their, oh my God, Trump is coming for all of us. Listen to what they're not saying. Remember that.
Okay, guys, so you watched these several videos and the several things that has been going on, and just like I said in the beginning, you've noticed that the black people have always stood and has always helped these Latinos, but yet they are actually wanting for the deportation of the black people, calling on Trump, which obviously Trump is not going to do anything about it, because looking at it, Trump, when he actually deported many of the black people, many of these white folks have suffered a lot because the black people has always been the people that have always, been a great help, support to many of these white folks, you see. So, tell me why that you want Trump to actually deport the black people, see. So it's actually an audacity and a kind of an insult that people that have been supporting you over the years, people that have been standing by you over the years, you just wake up and then you want them to be deported. These are conversation today, and let's just look at the comment of what some other people are saying, what some other people are thinking about, these types of this type of audacity, I'll call it, from Latinos. The first person here said, no, we were born here to citizens who were born to citizens and so on. Of course, many of them are, many of the black Americans were actually born there. And you can't demand them to just go just because of their color of their skin. I mean, what is wrong with these people, first of all? Why are you wanting for the deportation of these people just because of the color of their skin? See, there is nothing in any human being that makes you identify that person as, for example, now, these people that are so calling themselves Latinos, you know, if you go out to somewhere without telling anybody you are a Latino, will somebody be immediately able to identify you as a Latino? No. See, you are the one that will now tell the person, of course, I'm a Latino. See, so why will you want that you another human being that is actually living in a country should be removed just because of the color of the skin? And many of them were born and brought up there and have been a support and have been a support to the country. Someone else said, people don't understand our ancestors. Our ancestors have fought in every American war. Look it up. That should tell you everything you need to know. And that's very true. Black people have always supported, black people have stood, and even in many places in the America, you see that they have a lot of black Americans that have actually, helping out, you see. So why should you come and say this is very bad? Someone else said, what a moron, as if Trump will actually talk to him. You will seek eyes on him first. Let's know what you think about that. Someone else said, this is why we have to change the dynamic because of people like him who are probably illegally him and his whole family thinking that this is wherever they come from. Change the dynamics immediately. So this is somebody actually explaining that the way we have been actually doing maybe is not working, so we need to change the way we have been acting, change the way we have been behaving. So this has been a conversation. Someone has said this is our homeland, and black people are saying this is our homeland. Of course, if you are born there, if you have been working there, it is your homeland. It is very disturbing that you put all your energy in a country and then just like what is happening, just like what happened in South Africa, where people were being deported, people were being taken. You put all your effort into a country, and before you know it, you want to be deported. No, that should not happen. Not supposed to be so. We voted to save them, and they are attacking us. Exactly what I said. Please leave black Americans alone. Black Americans have too suffered in you people's hand. They have too suffered in many of the bad things you have been doing to them. You need to leave them alone. See, and many of this frustration actually comes when these guys, are looking for something that the black people have had or are enjoying. You see, which they don't. So this envy will start, and they want black people to go, and they want to stand up and take what belongs to the black people. This is unfair, and they need to be won. So thank you guys for watching today's video. Don't forget, if this is your first time to the channel, hit the subscribe button, subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.